Today we're going to talk on lesson 95, two-step word problems about a fraction of a group. Sometimes when we're talking about fractions, we get really stuck in cutting things up like pizzas or apples. But I want to remind you that fractions are not just cutting up things from pizzas or apples, but we can actually create fractions from groups of things. And so we've got to remember that as we work on some of these word problems. Our first word problem involves campers wearing green shirts. Don't ask me why we're worried about their green jackets, but this is the example. There are 30 campers. 2/3 of them wore green jackets. So how many campers wore green jackets? I know this is a big question that weighs on our minds. Well, our first step is we need to find out how many parts are in each third, and then how many are in the third, and then how many are in 2/3 of the group. So I'm going to draw a picture because that helps me think about this. We've got 30 campers, and we know that 2/3 wore green jackets. Because of this denominator, it tells me that I need to divide up into thirds, which is awesome. Then I look at this and I need to find out what each part, how many are in each part. And I can do this pretty simply by taking my whole group, I divide it up into 3 parts. I know that 3 times 1 is 3, subtract 0, pull down our 0, so that each part is 10 campers, 10 campers, 10 campers. However, are we looking for what, 1 part? No, we know 2/3. So that would be this amount, this little group of people were wearing green jackets. So because it's 2 of those, there are 10 in each part, and there are 2 parts, I know that 20 people were wearing green jackets. And I'm just going to make a note, green jackets. Now, the next one is really kind of cool because it involves some aspects of science. As you know, when we're talking about weight, we're not talking about our actual mass. What we're talking about is the force of mass, the pull of gravity on our mass. So Mrs. Daw weighs her weight because of the mass that's pulling down, because of gravity that's pulling down on my mass. If you went to other planets, they have a different gravitational pull. So example here is if you went on to Mars, it has 2/5 of the gravity of Earth. And so you would be much lighter in weight if you were standing on Mars. In our book, they brought home a rock that was 50 pounds when it came to Earth, but they want to know how much would that 50 pounds weigh in Mars. So we have a lot of different things that we need to figure out. I took and said this is my 50 pounds, and I'm going to divide my 50 pounds into fifths because we want to know what 2 of them are. So here's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5. This would be the weight, representing the weight on Earth. But in Mars, it's awesome. This is how much it weighs. If this is 50 pounds, this is how much it weighs on Mars. This is the Mars weight, which is 2/5 and not 5/5. Well, we need to figure out the value of each fifth. So we take our 50 pounds, and once more, these are really nice and even and multiples of 10. It won't be that way next year, but for now, we're gonna appreciate it. So we take our 50 and we divide it into we take it and divide it up into 5 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we know that goes into 10, so we know that each one of these parts is 10, represents 10 pounds. 10, 10. So, because of this, we see that 2/5, we can look at this and go, oh, that's 10 and 10. 2/5 of 50 equals 20 pounds. We can either multiply it we can multiply and say 1/5 and 1/5 is 20 pounds, or we can add. But it gives us our answer of 20 pounds. I'd like to see you in the practice set, because if this is going to require quite a bit of practice so that you can get used to it and thinking in the pictures. I personally like to create a picture and then show it being broken up. That helps me see what I need to do and the steps I need to take. I'll see you at the practice set.